everyone, MFPallytime here, and welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. In today's video, we have landed upon Diablo, the Lord of Terror. Diablo has been a force to be reckoned with since the beginning of the game's existence. He's one of the tanks that launched with the game. His current win rate is 47.65%. His popularity, 44.37. That makes him the 7th most popular character in the game and the 2nd most popular tank, just behind Stitches. You know, it's funny. The first note that Holly wrote down, because she's been helping me with getting the notes ready for these episodes, was that his Q has been bugged for most of the time he's been in the game, and I completely forgot about that. Diablo's Q ability is the Shadow Charge. He just clicks on a target and charges forward. Once he's in range, it knocks the guy back, and hopefully you stun them into a wall. But there was a time where you would kind of charge to the target and then almost stand still with no movement at all. Sometimes your charge would just get interrupted, it felt like, halfway through. It was super duper inconsistent. I feel like those times are behind us. Diablo has been a staple in the game for a long time. But for a very long time, there was only one way to play the character. He was so focused on just getting Devil's Due at level 1, then using your Q ability with every possible upgrade you could get for it, and just knocking people into walls. And it was very effective. Diablo was a monster, but there was really only one way to play him until March 22nd, 2018, a phenomenal rework. I think one of the best reworks that's ever hit the game. Diablo now has a bunch of different viable playstyles that all see love depending on the metas of the game. We have one with Feast on Fear, where you can go into this suplex auto attack hybrid thing where stunning people against walls is kind of an afterthought as long as you can continue to swing into them. You can go for the old school devastating charge setups, although this has been nerfed previously. With this quest, it used to increase the damage that you were doing by several 100%. So you could like burst damage targets down by yourself if you could catch them in small hallways. They wanted to make this more team oriented, so it just reduces armor instead, so your entire team can jump on this engagement. But there's also a W build where you could cast your Hellfire, just get fire spreading across the screen, and that's actually my favorite way to play Diablo. And as of right now, at the recording of this episode, the least represented build for Diablo. So today, we're going to play W build. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in the Infernal Shrines today. The friendly team, Diablo, Nazebo, Lucio, Azmodan, and Gizlo. Enemy team Erd and Brightwing, Chen, Vala, and Orphea. I am a true believer that all of Diablo's builds are viable. And in this game, I'm not going to go for the most popular setup. Instead, what I'm going to do is go for Fire Stomp. I think it actually makes a lot of sense on this map. We'll see if I'm right. I think it does. Also probably going to go Devil's Due here, just because I want to make sure my Regen Globes in lane really heal me up quite a bit. So souls in our soul bucket are going to empower healing fountains and Regen Globes throughout the entire game. We gain souls whenever a minion dies or a hero dies nearby us, and these souls stack up to 100. If we achieve 100, the next time we die, we will be instantly resurrected. Oh, the big engage! Will it be enough? No, it will not, as Brightwing zooming in pretty quick there to save the day. And in a strange twist of events, I end up dying because Lucio didn't heal me at all. Oh, I love moving fast to my death. Thanks, music buddy. I'm going to head down to the bottom lane. Let's make sure we're soaking, team. My only complaint about Diablo is his lane clear. And even with the Fire Stomp build, it's just kind of okay. And when I say lane clear, I don't mean his ability to stay alive in lanes. I just mean the speed at which he kills minions. Fire Stomp is going to be the main focus of our build today. We stomp our feet and out come flames in front of us. These flames will eventually travel back and actually heal us as they pass through heroes. So you actually want to position so the majority of your little fire things pass through your adversaries. Not like that. Not like that at all. Chin is going to have more sustain on me in lane, but all we got to do is back up and let Chin come to us. We can clear right in front of towers, no problem, and this regen globe is going to heal me up quite well. Our team has a shit ton of lane clear on it. Hopefully we can translate some of that into hero damage throughout these fights. I have been in situations where with this setup, I do end up being the #1 damage on our team, which can be a little scary at times, but we'll get through it together. Fire Stomp grants souls and heals for more. One of the advantages of this build in particular is the fact that you can actually farm souls without being in lane. So if you die in the late game, sometimes it can take ages to get all of the souls back in your bucket to be able to get back into the fight. But that is no longer a problem with us. Fire Stomp grants 1 soul every 3 times it damages a hero and heals for an additional 1.3% of its damage dealt per soul. We're also getting a ridiculous amount of self-sustain in situations where we know where the enemy team is going to be. We know where they're going to be at this objective. And the enemy team has a double front line for me to be throwing fire stomps into. It is perfect. Let's try to keep Muradin close to our team here, although that doesn't appear to be working out at all. Brightwing now on the right side of us means that Vala doesn't have a healer if we can go in. Now swapping my attention over to Brightwing since the opportunity presented itself. We're going to need our whole team here if we're going to move in on this in any meaningful way. I'm just trying to send in some fire stomps to buy time. It's not like the enemy team is really rushing through this or anything. Let's bring Orphea over here and just kind of see how she reacts to it. Unfortunately, the enemy team is reacting by focusing me down. Muradin into the wall will be defeated. I'm falling back from my sippy cup now, which we should have available. Boom, look at that, a full health bar already. Unfortunately, they only lost 1 of their front line. And for my team, I'm the only front line. However, stun on Orphea into the wall. Can we capitalize on this at all? And it looks like the laser from Asmodean might just do it. Unfortunately, losing our Lucio at the same time. Well, maybe once we get a few levels under our belt, this will start to shift in our favor a little bit. Brightwing stunned into the wall yet again, trying to focus damage on her. Asmodean not able to keep that up. The enemy team extremely slow at gathering this objective, actually. We're not in a bad spot here at all. I'm going to flip Chen over, stun him into the wall, hope for some damage to follow up. We received none of it, but we are actually ahead on the objective. And we've completed our baseline quest of putting souls into our soul bucket. Brightwing stunned into the wall yet again. We flip her over back into our team. There is a big stun going out from Gazlowe. 3 more minions is all we need to finish this off. I have another stomp, or I have another stun for Orphea in just a moment, although it doesn't look like we need it. Vala trying to stand toe-to-toe with the Lord of Hell as well, and that doesn't go well for her. And again, after that objective's over, I'm just going to go back to soaking and look how fast we can get back to full health. 1 regen globe is like a quarter of our HP right now. At level 7, we picked up Eternal Flames, reduce the cooldown of Fire Stop by 1 second. When Diablo stuns a hero with either our Q or our E, it's going to reset our Fire Stomp. So I actually should have played that fight just a little bit differently, but I'll show you just how impactful that can be as we go into the next one. The Immortal has already been taken down. We got almost a full level of soak ahead of the enemy team as a result. And I'm just gonna keep pushing up here. Looks like Nazebo getting a mercenary camp down at the bottom right position. I'm recording this episode before recording my intro just because I'm kind of limited on time right now, trying to balance everything I can before leaving town. So my intro is probably going to be a little long in today's video, just talking about, you know, where Diablo has come you know, since his time being added into the Nexus. He's always been such a staple in this game, though, and I'm sure I would have said exactly that in my intro, so I don't know why I'm repeating it for you. I spent a long time working on this character because he was one of my weaker heroes, and it sucked to be like looking at a roster and always having to pick the same two tanks. Stitches and ETC were like the only ones I was good at. So I spent a lot of time learning him, learning Garrosh, trying to just kind of open up my possibilities. And this is the build that I... Excuse me? This is the build that I absolutely fell for. I think it's so damn fun. Now, we could go for Apocalypse here, and I think I will. I suck at landing Apocalypse, I'm going to be honest. It is not my specialty. But because Chen has to drink and Brightwing's going to be teleporting onto other players, those two things make me believe I might actually be able to stun someone. We are pushing the bottom lane now. I left the top lane because it sucked and it was just slapping Muradin, and I didn't want anything to do with that. Someone else could take that lane. You know what I'm saying? The friendly team was very successful. Oh, shit, I fucked up. Oh, yeah, felt good. The friendly team was very successful with securing middle, which you love to see. Chen with his ultimate interrupted. Feels bad, doesn't it, bud? I'm going to charge into Orphea just to get out of her ult there. And as the flames return to me, we should be healed. But is it going to be enough? Oh my god, that overkill couldn't have been much. Just 47 as we walked past our gate. However, because we had so many souls, we instantly get resurrected and can rejoin the fight again. Our Azmodan not as lucky and is still respawning at the moment. We're going to ping Nazebo because I want him down here. The enemy team already in position, and Chen does still have his ultimate, I believe. I don't believe he used that. Stun on Muradin into the wall. We're going to Fire Stomp again after that. Flip over Chen and Fire Stomp again after that. Brightwing teleporting and Chen using his ultimate really early here. This is actually going to give me a ton of free souls. I'm going to Apocalypse off of that and try to secure a couple kills here. Chen into the wall, does get taken down. Our Overpower into another Fire Stomp is going to finish off Muradin, and now we're back on the objective. And look at this, 32 souls without ever entering a lane again. Now we're picking up Hellfire, which is going to increase our spell power. I guess Nazebo... Where'd Nazebo die at? Did he die up top, or did he actually end up rotating down? I'm not sure. As the enemy squishies are coming in, we stun Orphea into the wall, flip her over, and then do another Fire Stomp after. She is so far forward here, and she does get taken down. Vala looking for an opening. We're going to try not to give it to her. Just continue to stomp into the monsters here, and it looks like they're giving up on this. In fact, I might be able to do something kind of smart here and lead them into the Punisher if the Punisher would fucking look at me. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as well as I wanted. The Punisher missed his stun. He let me down. Gazlo with another ultimate is going to grab Chen, but this time I don't have the Apocalypse follow-up. Vala was looking really squishy against that wall over there, but I was not able to capitalize, just a little too far out of range. As Orphea moves up, we're going to grab her, push her into the wall, stun her again, and shoot off another Fire Stomp into her general direction. If we move if we move out of that, that'll just stop. Nazebo back up in the top lane, taking over camps over there. Stun on Muradin into the wall, flip him over, Fire Stomp again, and he's going to actually jump back towards his team here. Brightwing coming in for a teleport. Let's Apocalypse! I don't know, bro. That kind of looked like it caught Brightwing, bro. I don't know, bro. Nazebo still being very adamant about his camp taking. The friendly team just about 2 levels ahead of the enemy. They're going to hit 13 pretty soon. We have 86 souls back in our soul bucket, some free XP in the middle. I need to make sure I don't overcommit there. That's one thing that really took me a long time to learn on Diablo. I mean, Muradin has some great disengage, Anub'arak has some great disengage. Diablo, once he's in a fight, is kind of stuck in the fight. His main mobility inside team fights is targeted on enemy players. So if they're all in front of me, it could be kind of difficult to leave. That being said, Fire Stomps into the enemy team, not only granting me more souls, but more spell power as well. As they're continuing to move forward on our Gazlowe, I think he's just a little too far up shit creek without a paddle. Orphea playing really far forward here, almost in a position where I could flop her over into our wall, but didn't quite line up. I'm trying to play forward to keep their interest, but also keep them inside of Fire Stomp range as well. I could have capitalized on that Orphea moving up there. I mean, maybe this is fine. We're just kind of poking them down, farming souls right now anyway. Our Fire Stomp will now start to slow our adversaries, making it even easier to capitalize on their positioning. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and Apocalypse here as they're starting to gather up around me. Muradin does get hit. I'm trying to back up at this point. Azmodan with the body block is going to stop that from happening. However, instantly resurrected because we have 100 souls in the soul bucket. Did we farm to get those souls? Abso-fucking-lutely not. I just looked at the enemy team and fought them the whole time. We've done 23,000 damage. It's not too shabby. What have the enemy tanks done? Chen's done 19. The enemy Muradin has done 14. Not too bad at all. Good stun here if she stays close to that wall. Unfortunately, she moved. The most dangerous time to see a Diablo is when he's mounted and running at you, and I should heed those warnings and actually mount up myself. I've been a little lacking in that department. Orphea at the top of the screen, diving in on our back line. We're going to dive into her. Fire Stomp every opportunity we get as well. Muradin continuing to push in. We have just a few seconds until Fire Stomp is ready one more time, and we are sending it. The Orphea ult looking pretty scary here. We'll flip Orphea over and hit her with the Fire Stomp. I could stay in this fight probably. Especially if we can keep Muradin's attention here. This actually wouldn't be that bad. Chen using Stagger against no damage, but the next objective's coming up pretty soon. Here's a Fire Stomp. If Muradin comes in, we Fire Stomp again. Kick Chen into the wall, Fire Stomp again. I'm gonna Apocalypse here because Chen is drinking. Oh, that actually forced the avatar. Hold on, we Fire Stomp again. We flip this guy over. We Fire Stomp again. Thank you. Sorry. Went a little ham there. You know, just a little bit. Just a little bit. But again, without farming any minions, we're back up to 57 souls in the soul bucket like it's nothing. Our newest talent that we picked up was Debilitating Flames. Enemy heroes hit by Fire Stomp are slowed by 6% for 4 seconds, up to 60%, and heroes slowed by 24% or more deal 50% less damage. Yes, that's complicated. Yes, that means we have to do our Fire Stomp combo pretty well on a target to keep them from dealing more damage, but that can really add up. Our self-healing, by the way, 20,000 in this game, and most of that is just coming from Fire Stomp. Now, I imagine the enemy team might be rotating up here pretty soon. However, we see Vala on the map. Someone was just in the bottom lane a moment ago. It looks like they are not. And we're going to get the objective for free yet again. I was just about to say, maybe they're at that Merc camp and we can go check that. But it looks like... I mean, if I were them, I'd be backing up here. Ooh, but I am not them. We are going to see Muradin take the brunt of the Punisher's punishment there. Orphea slightly out of range. Vala flanking off to the side as well. My flames will heal me as I back up. Nazebo not with us yet again. I'm going to try to get back to our Lucio here and just hang out. With Chen moving in, we should definitely Fire Stomp that. Oof. Yeah, that was just kind of an awkward engage there. Very, very awkward engage. However, the Punisher walking right up to the core right now, and only Muradin with the foresight to chase it down. Yes, you might be finishing off our team, but what is our Punisher gonna do to your core? Let us find out. All of the minions have been taken down. I mean, if it gets through the shields, I'd be happy. I honestly don't know if it will. A 16-minute Punisher? Can it do that by itself? And they're starting to fall back on it now anyway. And it's wasting a ton of time with minions. 64 souls in the bucket, increasing our maximum health by 19.2%. Yeah, it's kind of a disappointing Punisher. And arcade Punishers are supposed to be the best ones, yeah. I think you could have applied yourself a little bit more there, Punisher. We do have Nazebo applying a ton of pressure across the map. Maybe I need to be more mindful that he's not with the team. I've just kind of been engaging like we have everyone there. Speaking of which, ooh, Asmodean done with his fucking quest? You love to see it. All right, just a casual fire stomp at the enemy team. I needed more souls. You know how it is. Orphea moving in onto our Lucio and standing so close to that wall. If only I could go in. Let's ping for some assistance here. I'm just going to flip Muradin over, fire stomp that way, stun Chen into the wall, fire stomp again. And let's just go ahead and APOC in the middle of this fight. It is going to hit Orphea and Gazlo with the follow-up. You love to see it. Oh, it was on cooldown. It wasn't my fault. I swear. We're going to go for Hellgate. Hellgate gives you a pretty much guaranteed stun on a single enemy combatant. I'll show you how it works in just a moment. You blink in and then flip him into it. And it's like guaranteed to land. It doesn't get much easier than that. Brightwing is going to make it away, however. Chen continuing to push my team back. Oh, she came back for more. 3 seconds until I could charge in one more time. I'm very aware that I'm away from my team at the moment, however. The enemy team with a lot of core pressure again. If we can all move in here, this should be a pretty easy siege. Stun on Brightwing, flip on Brightwing. Yes! Did I do it? Finally, there we go. I got the combo right. I mean, I've gotten the combo right before, but this time we got a fucking kill, and that feels good. Volley into the building. Do it again! Chen tried to jive our backline right now. I don't have a lot of cooldowns to keep me alive, but they are starting to roll out now. The fire is out. Orphea into the wall. She fucking dodged it. She took my cooldown with her sidestep. That is the lamest thing I've ever seen. And Nazebo with some minions finish off the game. I just wanted to show this build because I think it's really underrated. It's a really fun play style. It allows Diablo to not only get a ton of self-healing, but also deal a decent amount of AoE damage and collect soul gems without having to go into the lane to farm them. And it has some great synergy with our level 1 talent that we picked up. Now, that being said, auto attack Diablo is fantastic. The traditional charging in Diablo is fantastic. I think all 3 of his builds are viable, and I'm really passionate about it, which is why I wanted to make this video today. Great job. You dealt 11,612 damage to Shrine Guardians. Great. I think this map of the enemy team comp really made a lot of sense for this setup as well. And I hope you can tell that I got better at Diablo. I feel like I was pretty bad at Diablo in the last few A through Z's. And I spent a while practicing. We went for Devil's Due at level 1. Basically, if it has a fire picture, pick it up. Apocalypse at level 10. And we actually had a decent APOC here and there. Flame Breath is fine. I think you can pick it up. It does make Diablo unstoppable and deals some pretty ridiculous damage. And again, in situations where you know the enemy team's pushing into you and you're fighting on the Shrine Guardian or the shrine with all the monsters around you, Lightning Breath can just pick those guys up faster. And Hellgate at level 20, not only does it give Diablo much needed independent mobility that he doesn't need a target for, but it also gives you a guaranteed stun if you just jump in and flip someone into it with your E. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I certainly hope that you enjoyed it. I did a ton of cramming, a shit ton of work to try to get all this content ready before I went out of town. And this was the last thing I needed to do. I'm going to go spend 5 days down in Florida with my friends and visit my family. And I am so very looking forward to it. Of course, by the time you see this, I'm already back. I'm a professional. I just want to say I really appreciate you guys coming back and watching this series. And for all the support that you've given me over the years, it means a lot to me.